Solana is having a push up. And like I mentioned all the time, whatever happens on Bitcoin, Solana does the exact same. Literally nothing changes. This just has more, I guess, room to the upside from here to the high. You have about a 40% potential return compared to here to the upside. You have a 6% return. Pretty ass. So if you were to want to buy something at this point, for me, it would be Solana compared to Bitcoin because Solana has more of a resistance that it has time to reach. Bitcoin, whatever it reaches now, it has to create a brand new high because it's clearly never done it in the past. So, that being said, next, AUD USD. Let's start off with the weekly time frame where we're anticipating for this price to have a reaction to the upside. Daily time frame, we were waiting for price to have a break and retest to then head to the upside. 4 hour time frame, never had that break and retest. I know we were looking at it here earlier throughout the week. Price never really gave me the entry signal that I wanted when we were at this area right around here. We could have entered the trade. For me, it was already a little bit too far. Didn't really like the price action here. Then when we went bearish, I was very inclined to entering a trade here, but I just simply did not want to be active on the trade around this time, and price ended up going to the downside. Truthfully, if this was me, I don't know, 2 years ago, I would take this trade 100%. I would take it and I would have lost. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with losing. There's nothing wrong with taking a trade that checks out with your trading plan a lot. There's really nothing wrong with it. This just would have taken a trade that would have been another loss like every other trade. And the experience that I have is what leads me to sometimes just looking at it and even it checking out, me being like, ah, I'm good for whatever reason, it turns into an instinct thing. Now, I've obviously started to perfect this since last year or something like that, but it wasn't always like this. Now, since I've been doing this for so long, I just see this all the time. But for me, 2 years ago, I would have taken this trade all day, every day, no doubt in my mind. Again, the real trade we should have taken, like I kept mentioning, was this one right here, break and retest of this, but that opportunity did not present itself. So this week now we are very much bearish. Now this was the higher low, higher high. We're now bearish, and we can anticipate for price to now have a retest of this area to then sell to the downside. So I don't think that's going to happen this week. That'll probably happen next week. Probably have 1 or 2, 3 days of a pullback, 1 day of a slowdown, and then next week we'll actually have the push. So no reason to looking at this for this week if the opportunity is not going to happen this week. Next, we have GBP CAD. So GBP CAD was another pair that I missed out or whatever. This is a perfect trade where we had exactly what I anticipated. So literally last week we called this break, we called this retest. Happened exactly how I would expect for it to happen. You have your 1 hour, your 4 hour doji rejection. And then when you go down to the lower time frame, you have your 1 hour bearish engulfing. Go down to the 30 minutes, you have your shift of structure. This is the higher low, this is the higher high, bearish engulfing, shift of that structure. And then on the 15-minute, higher low, higher high, higher low, lower low, retest, sell. I got 1 to 3 on GBP CAD. I made 400% on GBP CAD. Oh shit, I made 1,200 on this. Congratulations. This is obviously a pair that I saw in the Discord that a lot of people made money on, which again, perfect trade. 1 to 3, made 4,000 on it, made 10,000 on it. I mean, yeah, this is just a perfect trade, right? This, you'd enter right here. Your stop loss would be right above this point, and your first take profit would be at this structure point right here. Because again, if you're setting at a 4 hour area of interest, you have to have a 4 hour take profit. Mario made 13,000 on this. Congrats. So yeah, this is a perfect trade. I didn't take it. I wasn't active in front of the markets at this time. Last week for me was more of a week of just kind of like not break because I was looking at the week. I was looking at the charts throughout the week. I just wasn't active. I was gonna see a trade. If I take it, I take it, but I'm not gonna stay up for it. I would just see an opportunity, take it if I really wanted to, or if not, I'd simply just set and forget. So this trade, perfect example of taking a somewhat counter trend trade because we are trading against the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame is still bullish. The daily time frame was bearish, lower low, lower high. We entered at the next retest, and then when we entered this trade at this point, the 4-hour was clearly bearish as well. So we had the daily and the 4-hour in our favor. We saw it at the round psychological level, 1.80 thousand. We had beautiful price action on the daily, and the weekly filled exactly how I pretty much anticipated. Daily time frame, if it would have body closed under this point right here, this structure point right here, this trade would have completely continued to head to the downside. All we needed was this right here. Body closure under, and then price to head to the downside. So this is now a trade that is still very much in my interest. I still love this double weekly doji at this high. I can just see this filling again this week, but with a body actually filling it. The daily time frame, I can see it rejecting this area once again, how it's doing right now. It's basically having a potential triple top on this pattern right here. And we can expect for price to shift bearish once again. So obviously right now we are bullish on the 1-hour, we are bullish on the 2-hour. All this little structure is bullish with the 4-hour, which is the main one that matters and gives us 2 time frames in sync with the daily and the 4-hour, because this is the lower high, this is the lower low. We never body closed under the structure level, which means that this structure still remains bearish. This right here is creating a inverted head and shoulders, but I think it's going to be irrelevant once price is going to reject this round psychological level 1.80 thousand by having a break, a retest, and then sell. So this is basically, I literally just want to take the same trade. I want to just take this trade, the same fucking shit. Why would I want to not do anything that clearly worked in the past? Why would I want to not take the same thing that worked in the past? I want to do the same trade. So basically break and retest under this area right here. Daily time frame is bearish. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the lower high. This is the lower low. We are bearish, daily bearish, 4-hour bearish. If you guys understand this one, type 1. If not, type 2. Stop loss, I don't know how big just yet. It would be something like this. Take profit would be to this point. Again, first take profit would be here. Alex, I have a question about the area of interest. You said we need 2 taps on the daily for a valid area of interest. Suppose we have 2 taps on the third one, touches like 7, 8 years back. Would you still recommend it? I mean, you could. Again, you could do whatever you want. You could have the 3 taps 10 years back. But just ask yourself, do you want to have an area of interest that has a third tap 10 years ago? Yes or no? What makes more sense, to have an area of interest that clearly has reaction as close to current price where we are, or 10 years ago, which is all the way back over here, where then it has maybe some type of reaction? You could count it if you want. There's no issue with that. But what makes more sense? This closer price action or further? At the end of the day, I don't know which one's going to have more of a reaction. What I know is that closer to the most relevant price is going to have more of a logical reaction. It's just logical. Would I count it? If I really want to count it, if I really want to take a trade, I'll make a counter trend trade look like an A+ setup, because if that's how I'll convince myself. So I can count whatever I want. So can you. But you got to just accept the risk. Would I count it? Maybe. I would have to see it. But should I count it? Probably not. Well, I can, again, you could do whatever, but should you? You should know the correct answer to that. All right, perfect. How deep into market structure must the market go for us to stop using an old higher high and higher low that hasn't been broken in a while instead of starting a new higher high structure? Great question, Jude. And so basically, I know exactly what he's asking. And the perfect example for that is, what's the market as a perfect example for that? Let me get it. It's like one of these. I think it's, what is it? Euro USD? Is it? Okay, yeah, perfect. Yeah, Euro USD is a perfect example. So basically, his question is, how far should the higher low, or lower high be before it's not relevant to current price action? So it's, again, it's a very tricky thing to answer because I don't have a black and white stat that say anything more than 2 years worth of structure doesn't make the higher high and higher low relevant. Like I don't have that answer. I don't think anybody does, and I don't have a stat for that because I just don't take that small portion into account. I just ask myself a logical question. Does this lower high and lower low influence this shift of structure that we're having internally right here? Break of structure, retest of this structure, retest of EMA, bullish engulfing. Does it make sense to take a buy from here to here? Probably. How much does this influence this buy here? I don't know. I don't know if it has 50%, 100%, if we should count, if we shouldn't. I just look at it as a logical question that I would ask myself. Should I let the weekly structure that happened, what is this, 2 years ago, dictate what is happening right now? Yes or no? And I ask myself that question. And whatever question I decide I come up with, I then accept the risk behind it. Statistically, or according to the rules, you literally are supposed to follow the structure. But if you're trading against the structure and it's super far away from it, you can ask yourself, are you okay with taking a risk against the structure? Are you sure it makes sense? You say yes or no, and then you accept the risk. The point of the strategy is so you understand what the market is doing. Now that you understand what the market is doing, you make a decision off of that information. You have the information that you wanted, and that's to know exactly what's going on. Now that you know, what are you going to do with that information? Are you going to use it to not trade against yourself or to trade against yourself? If that all makes sense, type one. If it doesn't, make type two. Okay, perfect. Perfect. All right, so let's go back to GDP cat. Yeah, long story short, we selling this shit this week. Easy. So in simple words, okay, I'll say it in simple words, I would consider it if I wanted to. If I don't want to, I won't consider it. That's it. If I really like the trade, I won't consider it. If I don't like the trade, I will consider it. That's it. Next, NZDJPY. Weekly structure. I can now sleep peacefully. That's okay. I still like this trade, but I feel like it's not respecting this level of support and resistance as much as it should. 19 years old, and I made over 25,000. Bro, let's do a podcast in the Bugatti, bro. Pull up. Don't miss on the opportunity. I'm only gonna do podcasts like this for so much longer, and then I just stop. So take advantage. Bro, I can't. I'm from Ireland. Bro, figure out how to jump through the borders, man. You gotta, bro, of course. If you figured out how to be profitable, you can jump a wall, man. It's not that hard. I'll help you. Patrick, let's do it. I mean, yeah, my trade is basically exact same here. Basically, break, retest, and we head to the upside. Yeah, I had to adjust the area of interest just a little bit, and I would wait for a clear break through this 4 hour level here. Because clearly, whenever it breaks through it, doesn't really mean anything through the 4 hour because it comes right back down. So I would wait for this to have a break, retest, and then head up. If anything, I would wait for like a break above this, then a retest above this, like this, and then head to the upside. Yeah, it's more like it. Stop loss and take profit. Entry would be right around here. Stop loss should be somewhere around here. First take profit could be the structure level. You can be a bit more conservative, set it a little bit under. Anything below here, yeah, it's pretty much free traffic all the way to up here. Is there any structure to the left here? Yeah, look at that. Confirms that that's the right structure. Yeah, so my take profit would easily be right around here for sure. Yeah, yeah, right around here. 2 for 2. Yeah, you guys gotta be doing your Sunday swings beforehand and before you guys hop on. All right, sick. USD JPY. Currently, we have a weekly time frame. We were expecting for price have a break and retest under. We did not have that. Price never did that, so we avoided a loss here. Weekly time frame has had a bullish candlestick. I can't trade against that. I'm not going to trade with that. Again, I don't want to sell against it because we're too bullish. And I can't trade with it because we're too bullish. We need a retest to go up. So there's nothing I can do with it. On to the next. Euro JPY. Euro JPY. We were expecting for price to have a break and retest under here for then a sell. Price never had a break and retest under here for sell. So let's avoid that loss. And then we had a last minute break and retest above for a buy, which I was looking at. And I literally put on, like, I looked at this right here and I'm like, oh shit, break, retest, bullish engulfing. Let me just put this risk to reward tool, see what happens. And the trade would have went into my favor. Would have probably not hit my take profit. I would have missed it by a little bit, but the trade would have hit, which is pretty sick. But did not take a trade there. I like this price action a lot more compared to USD JPY because we can have a quick retest of this structure level here, this level of support, and this level of resistance here to then head to the upside. Kind of little ugly inverted head and shoulders. We're going to retest this level of resistance and support to then head up. So going to be waiting for this retest here to then head to the upside. So break, retest, and then buy. Break, retest, and then buy. Yeah, I like it. Alex, would you take a trade with 60% confidence? Like I said, brother, I would take a trade with 1% confidence because I'm okay with taking the risk. Are you okay with taking the risk? Yes or no? If you guys understand this one, type 1. If not, type 2. Sick. All right. Super easy, super simple. Did you ever study putting a limit order? No, I don't like limits. I like taking a trade based off of an entry signal, just not based off of market movement. I make a decision off of the market movement, not the market movement make a decision for me. I hope that makes sense. All right, next, USD CAD. We're waiting for a break and retest under here to then sell. Price literally never did that. We completely avoided that loss. Price continued to now head to the upside. Same thing. I can't sell against this. Can't buy against it. Can't buy with it. We're too high. On to the next. GBP NZD. We have a beautiful push to the upside. Weekly time frame very bullish. 4 hour very bullish. Once again, can't trade against it. Can't trade with it. Euro AUD. We have a weekly time frame. We were waiting for a break and retest above. So we had the push up, all right? So we had the push up that we were anticipating. We filled the wick. That's exactly what I think we're going to do this week on GBP CAD. Double weekly doji, fill, double weekly doji, and fill. I think this is exactly what's going to be happening this week. Now, daily time frame, I think it's going to be very key because we clearly have had a shift of structure because we were bearish. This was the lower high. This was the lower low. And now since we've body closed above it, we are now officially bullish. Now, we were interested in taking this trade on the break and retest right here. Same thing. How many of you guys caught this trade? Type 1 if you caught it, type 2 if no. Let's see how many of you guys caught it. Type 1 if you did, type 2 if no. I mean, it's like, never mind. A lot of you guys missed out on it. Some of you guys did catch it. Let's see. Let's do a poll. Let me do a poll real quick. Poll. A new poll. Who caught? All right. Save. All right. Launch it. All right. Go ahead. I want to see how many of you guys caught the trade. It's funny. It's exactly the stat. It's literally the stat that I see from it's crazy that I come up with these numbers by just looking at the amount of people that react to the actual to the Zoom chat. All right, so that's basically what I said. So 10% of you guys caught it, 90% of you guys did not. Shame. But you know what? I'm in that 90% because I didn't catch it either. So it's okay. But it's a perfect trade, beautiful trade. Not gonna lie, for the guys that caught it, it was a bit degenerate of a trade. You would have probably entered right here on this bullish engulfing, and I'm sure it was moving very fast at that time. But I bet this would have had a little quick retest. Those numbers would have been very different. Would have given more people perfect. Everything we would want to look for was there. I missed it. It is what it is. Some of you guys caught it, which is what matters. So what I'm going to be waiting for now is a pullback, a retest of this area to then head to the upside. Not high or low somewhere in order so I can get a good entry on this market. High or low before hitting up. If this makes sense, type 1, or it doesn't, type 2. Sick. GBPCHF. Fuck this. Fuck this. Super choppy. I'm good. USD CHF. Wow. 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 Look at that. Imagine entering a trade and it does this to you. You entered a trade on Monday, and on Friday it's at the same spot. All right, next, AUD CAD. We currently have created a very, again, wick fill, double wick. We are still bullish in the structure. The time frame is bearish. The head and shoulders, left head, right shoulder. We had a break, we had a retest. Oh, I like this. Oh, yeah. I like this a lot. Yep. Yep, I like this a lot. It's your number one. It's your number one. Congrats. That's it. You guys mark.
Recording in progress.
It's always that one guy. I can't hear anything. I'm fucking thinking. He's cooking. All right, so let's start off on the weekly, right? There's clearly no weekly area of interest here. There's none, right? We don't have to be fucking super secret agents to understand that. Maybe this is one. That's it. There's no weekly area of interest, right? We're trading against the weekly. Weekly is bullish, right? Weekly is very much bullish. So we're trading with the daily. So we got to keep in mind, we got to base our price action off of the daily. Daily definitely has an area of interest. This has a level of resistance. This has a level of resistance. Support. Resistance, support. So it's clearly very, very respected. And the 4 hour is also bearish. Now, we can't sell right now, clearly not, because we're going to be selling right into this level of support. That would not be the most intelligent move to do. Clearly, price has shown us whenever we're here, we go up, go up, go up, go up. So we can either wait for two possible different scenarios to happen here. My number one scenario that I would want for price to happen is a price that would pull back into here, give me the shift to structure entry, and then sell. Or the break and the retest. Break, retest, sell. It's basically entry 1, entry 2. Take profit would be first area. This would definitely be the first take profit zone right around here. This is support. This is support, and then resistance. Yep. I'm gonna make sure on the 4 hour. Yeah, very, very clear level of support here. So you want to make sure you get out this, John, before we pull up here. Last thing you need to do is sell the break and retest. You get to here, and then you hold, and price pulls back. Literally, what we want for price to do right here is what price did here. Break, retest, sell. We take this right here. You need the break, retest, sell. You got to get out as soon as we get here, because the same thing could possibly happen. Not entirely sure of that, but there's a possibility of that. Could be a quick 1 to 2 if you enter an still day trade. If this makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. Everybody, type 1 or 2. Perfecto. Next, AUD CAD, weekly time frame. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Left head, right shoulder. Beautiful break. Now we can expect the retest. Daily time frame. Very ugly. Very ugly. Hideous. I don't like this price action on the daily. 4 hour. I'm good. We got AUD CAD, which again, this is like brother and sister or cousins or whatever you want to do. I'm going with the prettier cousin right now. You know, I don't know if you guys know, but like in twins, one of them is always prettier. There's always a prettier one. I had a girlfriend one that she was a twin, and I got the ugly one, bro. It just sucked, man. I literally got the bro. You know what that is? That they look identical and you get the ugly one? I'm kidding, bro. Actually, I'm not kidding. I had a girlfriend that they were twins, and I got the ugly one in high school. I'll never forget. I'll never forget. Ugly one has entered the chat. No, I got the ugly one. But it's okay. Somebody's got to love the ugly one, right? Oh. All right. Yeah, I've only had, I think, like 5 girlfriends, maybe. Something like that. All right, so weekly time frame. We have a very strong bearish push. We have a potential retracement that we're going to be waiting for. I'm not interested. Miss Shaw, bro, you have some crazy ass questions, dude. All 5 crying in the corner. Bro, you guys are funny, dude. All right. Bearish. Same thing here. I expect the price to have a pullback. Gotta wait for that pullback. CAD JPY. Oh wow. Looks very nice. Very nice, very nice. Weekly time frame. Lower low, lower high, lower low. Higher high, higher low. Retracement to retest this structure level. Level of resistance, level of. It's really only one level right here. Bro, I did have a fucking twin girlfriend. I just remembered that. Holy shit, that was a long time ago. Yeah, I like this area. How big is this? Oh, 80 pips. This is huge. Okay, we'll adjust it right now on the daily. Yeah, the max I like the zone is like 60, 50 pips. Yeah. Oh, man. Degen trades. I've created monsters in here, bro. Sick. We're on psychological level. You guys are spamming it in the chat. Thank you. But basically goes back to exactly where I had it. That's what I was trying to not do. All right, so very simple trade. I love this weekly bullish engulfing candlestick. I love this morning star formation. I love this retest of this previous structure level. I love this area of interest, kind of more or less. I love this daily high push. I love this retracement. I love this EMA pulling up. And I love how the 4 hour is now approaching this EMA at the point where it is now, because when we have a push down now, then this will go above, and then we'll have the push. When we have the push, we then enter at the retest of that EMA. It's gonna have a little fucking little, and that's where we enter this John. If this makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. Perfecto. So yeah, basically waiting for a little retest here, and then buy. Stop loss would be. I don't like this. We put it down. I don't like it. It's not the best. You know what I'm saying? You know, I've always wanted to learn every accent in the world. I feel like I have a couple down pack, you know? Resistance, break retest above, nowhere. Do London is actually, I actually don't have the London accent. My best accent is probably the Indian accent, and I can't do it. I can't do it. No, Indians are my people. Like, they really are my people. But I cannot do an Indian accent, because the last thing I need is for my fellow Indian friends think that I'm trolling them. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of motherfucking, and I don't want Indian enemies. There's too many of them. To the structure. There's too many. The Indian is like the largest country in the fucking world. So no, there's too many. I cannot do this. I can't do it, bro. I can't do it. No, I can't. I have a lot of Indian friends too, by the way. No. Okay, this is bearish. Okay, and then we I can't do it, bro. Nope, nope, nope. All right, and we're back on the ADUSD. I still have to go to India and make a lot of friends, bro. No, I can't do it. Who's spamming it, dude? Sirath, stop spamming it, bro. I can't do it. All right, let me organize the pairs by favorites and least favorites. Because like when you talk Indian, you have to literally, I'm Indian, you get a free pass. Because like when you talk Indian, you have to scream it. You have to be aggressive, you know? And I have that shit perfectly. Oh fuck. All right, so weekly time frame. This one we gotta wait for 1, 2. This one we have to wait for 1, 2. Euro ED 1, 2. All right, so pretty easy week. Not even gonna lie. I wish you guys could see this chart. All right. Oh, what's this? Okay, so these are the top pairs for the week. So number 1 is